Cringy foreigners, and just because it's old doesn't mean it's history. Let's do it. You don't want to be one of those cringy foreigners when they see something that's 100, 200 years old and they think it's history in Japan, and the locals don't know what they're talking about. And it's usually from countries like where I'm from, Australia or America. Our countries are relatively new in the scheme of things, but Japan's pretty ancient, so it's quite cringy when foreigners see old buildings or whatever, and it's getting torn down or it's being disused or something like that, and they comment that Japan's losing their culture or something. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So it's not uncommon to see even disused shrines that are in really poor condition, and sometimes they even sell them to the public, and this is because they're no longer used. They're not of historical significance. They're just a place where people at the time used to go, and they used to be used a lot for not just worship and things, but as a social outlet. People didn't have television and things like that. They would show up at the shrine, do a few things, and it was a bit of a social outlet. So that sort of thing has moved on, not unlike what used to happen with churches out in the West. If you go to Australia, there's a lot of disused churches, and a lot of them have gone onto the market, and people do them up and use them as houses or cafes or whatever, and nobody laments the fact that a church is no longer being used or something, and it's just been used as a house now or something like that, and they never say that they're losing their culture. But when it comes to Japan, it's these foreigners just want to be saviors, and the people who come up with this stuff, they've just got no idea. They don't know Japanese history at all. If it was something was historic, the Japanese would keep it, and they do keep a lot of things. But just because it's old doesn't mean it's history. There's a lot of buildings as well in Japan, and Japan's quite famous for being a bit late on building codes and things like this, and pretty much only the last 30 years that they've updated all the building codes and the fire regulations and things like this, and a lot of buildings are no longer able to be used in the manner that they were before. So in the case of my area, we have an onsen, and it's a massive building, and it was used as a accommodation as well. So it's only used as an onsen now because the fire regulations have changed, and to put in all the sprinkler systems and things like that, it's just prohibitively expensive. So the place looks run down, the hotel side of it. The onsen's working quite well, but a foreigner would look at that and think that it's in decline or something, and things like this, and it's such a shame. But these are just regulations, and this happens all around the world. It's not uncommon for buildings just to get demolished and a new one built, but nobody cries about it, do they? But the foreigners that come here, I don't know what it is. There's something in the water, and they think it's a loss of culture or something, that some building can no longer be used because of X, Y, and Z reasons that have changed in the law. But this is what happens. So it's very cringy when you see foreigners do this, and they do it on YouTube a lot as well, and it's always the low IQ people with just no idea living here in Japan. It's like they're in a different world. I don't really know where they're coming from half the time, but it's quite clear that they don't know the first thing about history, and especially Japanese history, and just the way the world works in general. They just have no sort of self-reflection, and you run across these people, and sometimes you just have to shake your head. Coming up now, this is what gave me the idea for this video. Coming up now is Inter, and this is the new Inter pass that gets onto the motorway here that goes all the way to Tokyo. And this has been put back 15 months. And it's because they found an old house about 500 meters to my left as I'm driving now, that was dated in the year 410. So that's a long time ago, isn't it? So people talking about these buildings that 100 or 200 years old, it just doesn't rate a mention in Japan at all. And these old shrines that were pretty much just community gathering places that are no longer used and in disrepair, it's not culturally significant, but people just lament on these things like they have a better understanding of Japan than the Japanese do, and it's just totally cringy. But as you saw here on the left, they've put a whole motorway back 15 months while they do the archaeological dig on this house. So they know their history and they don't need foreigners to tell them this. So you often get this with these IKEA people as well, these IKEA channel people. They have no idea about Japanese history or anything, or even about houses, but that's what their channel's about. And they end up buying dumps that they think is culturally significant because they're saving some old house, and they think they're on a big saving Japan run, by buying an old house. And usually they buy a dump because they don't know the first thing about building and whatever, but they want to play the Western samurai dude in his old house, cosplaying or something. Plenty of these people around, and they think that they're saving Japanese culture as well, and it's just an absolute joke. There's a reason why there's 11 million of those houses around, is because people don't want them and they're not culturally significant. But try and tell these people that. So today, anyway, I've been out gathering firewood for the oven, and my neighbour has retired from apple farming, and she tried to get a farmer to take on the apples, but what's happening in my area is people have gone more to grapes because there's less ladder work, and it's just a little bit less hard on the oldies. So they've all gone to grapes, so she wasn't able to find somebody who wanted to take on the apple field, so she's cutting it down. So she was generous enough to give me the firewood, so I've spent all day today just getting loads of firewood, and I took some video for you guys, and here it is. So a neighbour's cut down her orchard because getting old and they're retiring, and nobody could take it on. So this was an apple orchard, and she's also got a massive other field that'll be done another time. So anyway, she's generously given me the wood. So I'm here to pick that up. So I'm just going to go around and grab the big stuff and the little stuff last, because everything's going to dry at different times. So the bigger stuff I can just separate when I get home. It's going to take much longer, and then the little stuff will be last, and I should be able to use the little stuff in about 6 months. Quick tip: whenever you move wood from somewhere, always inspect it, and always sweep out your truck with each load. So you'll see that there's ants. So these ants might be different to the ants that I get at my place. So just reduces the risk. So whenever you're moving wood, always inspect it for insects and stuff, and always clean your truck out with each load. Halfway done. Just add it to the pile. Time to go and have a cup of tea. It's getting hot. Next loads. Last 2 loads here. Had to take a break late afternoon, just so hot. So anyway, I just got these 2 to put in, and then probably a couple of weeks there's going to be some more down there. Last little bit done. Drop this off and straight to the shower. My mate Darren, he's been using my K-truck. Look at that. Look how clean he keeps it. It's never had a wash since I've had it. And look at that, marvelous. So I thought I'd better hose it out for him. Look at that, it's beautiful. So anyway guys, that's the wood. Nice stack. And 99% apple, which is the king of firewood. So it's a bit sad, but this is what happens in Japan is young people, they prefer to get an office job or a government job. It's just the culture here. And I've spoken about this in dating as well. People go to high school, study hard, go to university, and a lot of the young people's dreams is to get like a really good government job or a really good job with a big company. It's just the way the education system's set up, and it's just the way they've been encouraged to do things. So as far as farming goes, and it's not about money either, a lot of farmers actually make more money than office workers, but they're getting difficult to replace at the moment, and that's why they've put the startup visas and things through, and I've talked about this a few times, and there's never been a better opportunity than to come to Japan and start a farming operation, fruit or cropping or whatever, or a tourist operation, because these opportunities are just around everywhere. And my friend Darren, he's just up now and he's moving to Japan soon, and it was just bad timing. And if it happened next year, he would have taken the whole apple field on, 130 big trees, which is more than a full-time income. So these opportunities are everywhere in Japan. Average age of farmers up around 70, and a lot of their farms are in good condition, and they just don't have anybody to take them on. So if you follow my advice and buy in the right areas, and ingratiate yourself and with the community, these opportunities can happen to you. And as I said, they're all over Japan, and it's just finding the right area and having the right business plan and things like this. But it's definitely going to be a growing market for foreigners who want to come into Japan and do this sort of thing. So anyway guys, I'm back home, and as always, hope you like the video.
Yeah.
Here's the big boy.
Big boy injury already finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got himself into a fight, this guy. And he's almost full time now, this big fella. He's been hanging around for a while, and he's getting on well. They've just come back on late afternoon for a bit of food. So they've been out somewhere all day. So the customers are in here, and no cats today. They've been out doing their thing.
Let's go back home.